Gas up the Jeep, it's good to be free. Load up the pans and fishing poles. The highway is long, the wheels turning round. Pack up the cook stove and the bowls. Arlo and I, we hit the open road. Arlo and I are on the road.
Hey everybody, I'm back in the kitchen again today, and I want to do something a little bit different today. I want to talk about how much I love Tang orange drink. Now, to be honest, I'm kind of embarrassed to say it, that how much I do love Tang, and I haven't had it actually in a few years, so this is going to be the first time in a while. But I have lots of great memories of drinking Tang as a kid. As a matter of fact, there was another orange drink flavor brand called Start, and I remember my mom making that one all the time, as well as Tang. And it came with these little orange plastic glasses, and I think to this day she probably still has a stack of those orange glasses. I want to check next time I visit her. I want to check and see if she still has those orange glasses from that. But this video is about Tang. Now, I did a little bit of research, and Tang was invented by a chemist named William Mitchell in 1957, and I think it was put on the market in 1958, but it never really took off. Wasn't that popular until John Glenn took it up with the Gemini missions, and he was doing testing for different types of foods and drinks that they can use for the space program. So, you know, being that perfect age, this was like really cool for me to think that this is the same drink that they were drinking, the astronauts were drinking. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, I remember being in school and watching the moon landings on a little tiny black and white TV, and that was so cool. I can still picture it to this day. It was sitting up on a counter, and we were all kind of sitting around and watching the moon landings on this little TV, which is so cool. And I also remember eating, I think it was Pillsbury, they used to sell these little things called space food sticks or astronaut food sticks or something like that. And I remember eating those all the time. I think they had chocolate and peanut butter. I think I remember a caramel. They might have even had orange flavor, I don't remember. But I definitely remember chocolate and peanut butter. I think a caramel flavor, I believe. But I remember eating those all the time as a kid. And I remember going to my grandparents' house after school a lot of times, and I would build like a fort with a chair in front of the TV, and I would take the bottom cushion and I would prop it up on the arms of the chair, and I would make like a little cave, and I would sit underneath there, and I would eat those astronaut sticks, and I would watch cartoons. I remember also when I was a kid, I had the space astronaut G.I. Joe, and that's when the G.I. Joes were really big, and they had like the real, well, not real, but like furry facial hair and beards, you know, on there. And it came with, he had the astronaut's space suit, a silver space suit, and it came with a big astronaut, the capsule and all that, which, gosh, I wish I still had that. It's probably worth a lot of money now. But I used to play with that all the time. I was just the right age to be really into all of that NASA and space and astronaut stuff, which I still am to this day. And I still think of Neil Armstrong as someone that I really admire. Can you imagine being the first human to actually step on the moon? I mean, it's like mind-boggling. But anyway, like you said, to this day, I wish I would have had a chance to meet him, shake his hand or something like that, because really this inspired me so much when I was a kid. But anyway, back to Tang. I guess Tang was used by NASA in the space program for a while, I think even into the Apollo missions and all that, so Neil Armstrong probably did drink some of this. I'm not sure. But I know that John Glenn did for sure. But anyway, let's make a little Tang. So, well, actually, I want to look and see what it says for the ingredients. Let's see here. Where are the ingredients? Sugar, fructose, citric acid, contains less than 2% of maltodextrin, calcium phosphate, sodium, acid phosphate, ascorbic acid, natural flavor, artificial color, guar gum, yellow 5, yellow 6, and xanthan gum. Nothing good in there, right? But it sure tastes good. It's got that sort of artificial orange flavor that we all love and associate with, you know, like orange flavored things. And I have to admit that orange flavor is probably my very favorite flavor. Whenever I eat a popsicle or a lollipop or anything, or I always go for the orange flavor first. That's always been my favorite since I was a kid. So anyway, Tang for sure has always been a favorite. So let's make a little bit of this. All right, so in here there is a little guide. It says for 2 quarts. This is just a little less than 2 quarts, so I'm going to put a little less than that on there. I'll put that in there. And then I have some filtered water. Of course, you got to have filtered water with all your chemicals, right? This is the magic, though. That's where it turns orange. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, and then got to stir it up. Look at that. Remember doing that as a kid? Stirring up your Kool-Aid or your Tang or whatever you're making? I also remember always buying those orange juice, the concentrate, the frozen concentrate in the little cylinders. Actually, I have one here. Right here. I bought some the other day because I was reminiscing, and I love orange juice. It's probably one of my very favorite drinks, you know. I don't drink a lot of it anymore because I don't drink much sugar or eat much sugar, but I did buy this the other day because I really wanted to try it out, and that's why I wanted to get into this Tang as well. But if I did eat a lot of sugar, I probably would drink orange juice every day like I used to. Just something about orange. I remember when I was a kid, speaking of orange, you know, I don't remember if you remember in the 70s, they used to send out those little packets, like it was like a postcard sort of, when it was saturated with like an orange scent, I think for like a cleaning product or something like that, and then they would wrap it in plastic and send it in the mail. And my dad would get those, and when I was a kid, because they were so strong, he'd open them up. He would open up my bedroom door and throw it in like in the morning before he went to work, and I'd close the door. He thought that was pretty funny. So anyway, but anyway, that was funny, and it has that same kind of orange, artificial sort of orange aroma to it. Another great orange memory that I have when I was a kid was when Epcot Center first opened up. I remember we went down to Florida. We went there to Disney World, and we went to the Epcot Center, and they had this ride. I don't remember what it was called, but you sat in these seats, and then it kind of took you around a tour, and you would look through the glass, and it would show you like all these dioramas of things, you know, of the future, and you know, all these futuristic things. And then one of the ones, you came around the corner, and it says, and then someday there will be orange groves on the moon. And then as you come around the corner, it goes like, psst, and it sprays like this little bit of orange scent. And I can still smell it. But you'd come, and then you'd see like these rows of like orange groves and stuff on the moon with the craters and all that and little buildings and stuff. So, but I can still picture that to this day, and I can really still smell it to this day, which is super amazing. It has a similar smell to that, of course. Anyway, let's try our juice. I'm calling it juice. This is our Tang. All right, are you ready? I'm ready. Let's have some of this. Okay, super exciting. Haven't had this in a while. I had a few years ago. Well, I haven't had a few years ago, maybe like 5 years ago. So it's still been a while since I've had this. But anyway, here we go. Here's to those childhood memories. Actually, I really dig it. I still dig it after all these years. I wouldn't drink a ton of it because it is really, really sweet. But you know, I'll be working on this pitcher this week. Yeah, it's actually really good. I have to admit, you know, I really do like Tang. I love Tang. Well, thank you, William Mitchell, for inventing Tang in 1957. Thank you, John Glenn and NASA, for inspiring me, and Neil Armstrong and all that to inspire me all these years. And Tang, I still love you. Another funny story is that when I was doing a little research on Tang, I saw that there's a little blurb that said Buzz Aldrin said, "Tang sucks." Hey, who am I to argue with Buzz Aldrin? But hey, I thought that was pretty funny. I don't agree though. I really like it. Anyway, if you like this video, please like, please subscribe. That always helps us a lot. And we will see you in the next one. All right, bye-bye. All right, actually, I'm back real quick. I went on YouTube and I looked up Epcot Center and the rides, the old rides, and I guess the ride that I was speaking of was called Horizons. And there's actually a video of a ride-through of the whole video of the whole ride. So I'm going to attach that link to in the description of this video. YouTube has everything. I can't believe it. Anyway, I don't know if it's exactly the way I remember it, but there is the scene there where they're going through where all the fields are and all that, and that's where they would spray that orange spray. Anyway, we'll see you next time.